All right, so what's the date today?
Monday.
All right, so it's Sunday, March 9th. And today we have a somewhat reluctant Ramone and not so reluctant Frisbee Rob on the show. Take it away.
I don't wanna. What do we?
Get the headphones off your head. Pretend we're not doing a podcast, and carry on the conversation you guys were having in the kitchen. What were you guys talking about?
We were talking about golf simulators.
There you go.
And batting simulators.
Yeah, carry on.
And that fat Asian YouTube channel.
Called what?
I think it's King of Juco.
King of Juco.
Yeah.
So Ramone was saying basically he just wants to get paid to do whatever he wants to do. Hit golf balls with shovels. And
That would be nice. How do we make that happen?
Well, first, you'd start by letting me pursue my dream of ASMR.
Tell me what ASMR stands for.
I have no clue.
Okay. So just a word of advice. Stop saying acronyms that you don't know what they mean.
Why don't we look it up?
This is we'll get the control booth to look it up while we talk. Andy in the control booth is looking into it right now. He'll get back to us.
Who's Andy?
He's the guy in the control booth.
Where are you looking?
So much for keeping the mystery behind the show alive.
do you ever listen to Jimmy Carr?
I've seen some of his stand-up. Why?
He deals with a lot of hecklers, and someone was saying how Joe Rogan was useless because he has a guy look everything up for him on Google.
What does that have to do with hecklers?
The guy in the audience is yelling out at him.
The guy in Carr's audience was yelling out a car.
Yeah, Joe Rogan is dumb and is not a good podcaster and not a good host because he has somebody look everything up for him.
That's what the guy was yelling at Carr?
And Jimmy Carr was like, thanks for that. That's great. It's like, have you ever Googled anything? Perfect.
That's a very specific heckle that has nothing to do with Carr's show, I'd imagine.
He gets a lot of random heckles. Yeah, people now know that they can just shout out random things and they want to see how Carr deflects it.
I see. Okay. Do you know Jimmy Carr?
Nope.
I don't think you've seen any of his stand-up.
Does he kind of look funny?
He looks like a bit of a Lego snap-together person. He's a British gentleman. He's got some funny bits. I've seen it.
Oh, shout out to my baseball team. I will probably hear this either due to Luca's lack of, I don't know, keeping things private. Just want to say hi.
So this is our first experiment with 3 microphones. We've never done 3 mics before. This has been a strictly 2-mic show. We'll see how this podcast goes. So far, I don't know if it's exactly compelling material. I'm hoping it picks up in a little bit. But you know what? There's always a delete button.
This goes to the dustbin. This is episode 000. No, it's not going to make it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Right.
We could always just go back to ASMR, as the last ditch effort.
I hope it's something just sexual and disgusting, and you don't have a clue.
Now that's your career.
Why isn't Andy on this?
Andy who? He is. I mean, he is. He's having he's rebooting his computer and now he's having trouble.
I think he shut his Wi-Fi off.
I turned off his Wi-Fi because he was too busy
playing
playing
video games.
Scram Sports. What's it called? What's that?
What do you mean?
Scram Stars. What's that dumb?
Scram Stars.
What's that game called?
Brawl Stars.
Parole Stars.
Brawl Stars.
Brawl Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a manly game.
Definitely something you should tell a girl on a first date. Yeah. What's your hobby? Brawl Stars.
No.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
It's something you can definitely put on your resume later. I'm sure it'll be super impressive. Oh, I play Brawl Stars.
Did you know I also have over 50 million power in Rise of Kingdoms?
That's another game?
No. Actually, yeah, it is, but I don't play it. I lied, actually. I have 50 million power.
At what point are you going to start making sense in this podcast? Not yet?
Not yet.
All right, so what were you guys actually talking about in the kitchen when I dragged you guys up to the studio? And Andy, of course. Andy, reboot that machine. We need some things looked up.
We're talking about laser tag and paintball and how you were surprisingly good at paintball.
Mm-hmm.
Give those to me, please. Give me the headphones.
Why?
Can I just have them for a second?
Why?
Because I'm the one sitting at this thing. I'd like to monitor
Just
the
put
sound.
those in.
This connection doesn't exist back there.
Well, then how are these connected?
You can see better than I can. Do you see how this is the 3.5 mil and those are 1/4 inch inputs? I don't have the adapter. You do. Can I please have the headphones? This is compelling. This is compelling inside baseball, behind the scenes sort of stuff. I'm sure the folks back home are riveted.
Why can't you just put it into that hole or the other one?
Oh my goodness.
There's like 4 open there.
Okay. Let's move on from this. Yeah.
We are talking about how you were surprisingly good, I guess, at paintball.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I was good compared to a bunch of out of shape, clueless coworkers. I'm sure that.
No. We're talking about my birthday party.
Oh, well, then
Wait,
you tell them.
You had a paintball thing with your coworkers?
Yeah, a long time ago.
That's amazing.
It was a team building. Like 2015, 2016. It was kind of ridiculous in a very strange way. There's this one dude that kind of lost his mind, and he had to apologize to other coworkers after the whole thing was done. He was actually sent back to the parking lot
Why?
to think about
His behavior.
This is a grown adult at a corporate team building. And we went out to, I think, Cochrane. It was somewhere near Cochrane.
What did he do to
there's some-
deserve such a
I'm not
punishment?
sure. So one day we should dedicate a whole episode to a coworker named Josh.
Why?
Was that at TransCanada?
No, this was back at Travel Alberta. But
wow.
this fella, it would be nice to get some other coworkers who knew him on this podcast. Yeah, we don't need to talk about Josh now, but
So coworker paintball.
Yeah.
Was it 2 teams or was it just free for all?
no, it was 2 teams. We had enough coworkers there that we split into a couple of teams, and we'd go to like one battle and we'd rejig the teams. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun seeing how people you normally work with react in an actual physical situation. Because normally you have a meeting, you talk about what you're going to do in your computer for the rest of the day, but chances are no one's going to feel pain later, right?
And there's
chances
no pretending, there's no hiding. It's
right,
very raw.
Chances are no one at work is going to have to crawl through the mud to try to sneak up on someone. Where you're kind of thrown in with people you work with, you're thrown into an actual physical, like a physical situation. It would be the same as if we went and played sports together, but this was a bit more, like it's paintball. It's not like we're thrown into a war.
Did you enjoy shooting coworkers?
I enjoyed the sneakery and watching how clueless people were in the physical world more than actual shooting them. But I won't lie to you, it was very fun shooting Josh in particular.
Who is Josh?
We're going to leave this.
No, we need a little spoiler. Hook the audience.
All right, so stay tuned. I'm going to try to get some of my coworkers on to a podcast. I know just the person. There was someone named Rachel that I worked with who was quite amused and entertained by Josh. So if I can get her on the podcast, that'll be quite a get for this show. I'm going to have to look in to see. I'll have to get our producers to contact Rachel's people to see if she's available. Yeah, Josh was just this dude that was hired onto my team. And yeah, I have 12 stories about Josh, which I want to save. But
What was the general problem there?
well, I'll give you a little teaser. The general problem is he fancied himself a DJ, and that should be pretty much everything you need to know. That's one of his many hobbies. Another thing he liked to do is drive his vehicle up to Edmonton. See, you're going to get me to start telling Josh stories, and race his 2-door family car at the local quarter mile. I think he raced quarter miles
What?
in his car. And sometimes he'd come back to work with literally his stereo on fire.
What?
Not metaphorically, but literally.
Why?
You're gonna have to tune in to the Josh podcast.
That's the teaser. I like that.
That's I hope. I really want to get Rachel on. Oh, there's one other guy. Okay, my buddy Sean. So Sean worked with him for a bit. So Sean was a paintball. So maybe I'll get Sean on a podcast. Sean, if you're out there, I'm gonna send you this episode, and you're gonna be banging down the door, getting on a mic soon, I'm sure.
Well, and this all started because Ramone was talking about playing paintball against a bunch of men and...
Yeah. When I was up in Vancouver last year with my grandma and Rex, she thought it'd be a fun idea, like on our last day there, to take us to go play paintball. And when we got there, there's a bunch of people there already. There's like a 7-year-old's birthday party.
Sorry, 7-year-old?
7-year-old. And what looked to be like a 16-year-old birthday party. And then there's a bunch of like old men who looked like they played in a league. And we were given the option to either play...
Did these old men look like they still lived in their mother's basement that played in the league, or did they look like functioning members of society? I'm just trying to paint a picture for all the people listening.
They looked a little bit of both. They had a mix.
Okay.
There's a mix in there.
All right.
And we were given the option to either play with the veterans and the 16-year-old birthday party, or a bunch of 7-year-olds. And I'm pretty sure our grandma forced us to play with the older.
And just for the listeners out there, Rex is your cousin, who's roughly the same age as you, so 14-ish. Last year would have been 13-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. And wait, was Benny there as well?
No, Benny was absent.
So it was just you, a couple of 13-year-old young gentlemen.
Yep.
Okay.
And actually, it went way better than we thought.
Did Rosa suit up?
No.
Okay.
That would have been something.
Grandma Rosa?
That would have been amazing, actually.
So you guys chose...
Forced to play with
the older gentleman.
Yeah. It was like, I don't even think it was a birthday. I think it was like some hockey team that, with their bottle drive funds, went to go shoot each other.
An adult men's hockey team?
No. The men were there to play in like a league, and the 16-year-olds were like a hockey team.
I see. And which team did you guys wind up on?
I'm pretty sure we were with all the 16-year-olds.
What do you mean pretty sure? Shouldn't you be 100% sure?
Well, I don't remember. I didn't like...
A year ago? Were you with the kids or the adults?
I don't remember what I did yesterday.
Okay. All right.
But you were shooting adults.
Yeah.
So you would have been on
I remember I was shooting adults because I remember they were really bad, actually.
The adults?
Yeah, they were horrible. I remember I was telling Rob, I parked myself behind a pile of tires, and there's just a hole just big enough to fit like the barrel of my gun through, and I just unloaded for like 10 minutes, and I got somebody complained to me to the manager, but they didn't know who I was because I was hiding behind. But so a rule is you can't shoot the same person 5 times in a row, because like that's just like the cherry picking, I guess. I don't know. It was a dumb rule, but the same person kept walking out.
So you'd shoot him. He'd walk back and respawn.
He'd respawn
and walk back to
and
the
he'd
exact
walk
same
right
place.
back out. I remember it was some lady. I hit her like 5 times.
Yeah. If she keeps doing the same thing over and over again, I wouldn't worry about that rule anymore.
I know.
Because I'm assuming it was a big place. You can go in a variety of places.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. The floor was disgusting. It was a mix of paint.
Oh, he was indoor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a mix of paint and dirt, and he was like awfully moist. It was weird.
You had somebody in the goggles.
Yeah, I've only been to outdoor. I've only been to outdoor facilities.
Yeah, outdoors are fun. But the indoor was fun as well. I remember I hit the lady in the face. Like, it's not my fault. There's a doorway, and if you come out to it, I'm here. There's a wall barricade doorway. There's a bunch of other people. There's like, I'm taking on 5 people. They're all like ducking and shooting. She's just walking straight into the bullpen.
Sounds like she wanted it.
It was.
So wait a sec. I thought you said you were playing against a men's hockey team. Where'd this lady come
No,
from?
I'm saying I was playing with the hockey team.
You were playing with a 16-year-old.
Yeah, the 16-year-olds.
Sorry,
They were the hockey team.
I thought you meant... Oh, sorry. The adults were a paintball group.
Yeah, they were a group.
And it was a mixed group. It wasn't just dudes. It was...
Yeah,
There was many ladies, or just this one who's a glutton for punishment, it seems?
I only noticed that one because she was happy to take into most of my shots.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then she complained to the manager. She's like, I was standing in the middle of the thing. He's not allowed to shoot me. That's not fair.
Okay.
So this is really a 13-year-old picking on a middle-aged woman. It's a story.
It's not my fault. It's whoever raised her. It's like
Let's
just
blame
poor
her parents.
instincts.
Poor parenting. Incidentally, all the arguments we had yesterday about Snapchat are related to not being poor parents, but we don't need to talk about that on this podcast. And how did that compare with our experience from your 13th birthday, or was it your 12th birthday party that we went?
It was my 12th.
12th,
was
and we went to Bragg Creek.
No. That was my 13th.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, time is an so your 13th. I took you and 3 other 13-year-olds.
Was Beckham there?
Beckham was there.
Luca,
Alex,
and
Luca. Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, I think there was just 4 of you.
Oh yeah, Seth couldn't make it.
Yeah,
Was it 2v2?
No, it was.
How did we do it? Do you remember?
I think it was free for. Actually, no. I think it was 2v2.
Yeah,
and then we played with some other people. I think
later, but most of it is because there was 5 of us, including me. Mm-hmm. So I would team up with one of the kids, right?
Yeah, and then the other
3 would.
Yeah, you were insane. You just nobody knew you were allowed to like crawl on the ground and just like lay dormant until somebody walked across you. It's not fair.
It's called survival.
What do you like? I think you've been watching too many.
Yeah.
I think you've been watching too many action.
Why aren't you standing perfectly straight up and screaming as you charge into battle?
What better yet? Why don't I just put my weapon down and skip through the field, singing loudly so you know where I am, and then when you see me, you yell, "Hold still, please," so you wouldn't have to shoot at a moving target, and then I'd hold still and make myself as large as possible. Would that be better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember we were doing one, and I think it was the first one. I was like crouched next to like this steel barrel, and I heard doom, doom, doom. And I looked up, and you were right there, just no holding back. It was so close to my head.
I didn't shoot you in the head at all. I think I was trying to get body shots. Also, that's called tough love.
I know.
And so I'm assuming you used some of the skills you learned from that day on your Vancouver trip after.
No, this
was after.
It was?
Yeah, absolutely. The first time you went paintballing was that birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Yeah, I remember I shot Alex in the back of the head. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So you're not going to join the military?
And then we got attacked by fire ants, remember?
Right. Yeah, like somebody, I think it was Beckham.
Yeah, they thought it was a good idea to go on the giant mound of dirt, and it was one massive fire ant thing.
Yeah, that's one of the, like, when you play indoors, you get, like, disgusting floors and stuff. But when you're outdoors, you find yourself on an anthill. That's part of the fun. Yeah, I remember, and I think Beckham was, like, turning red, like, so we had to stop. But then
he's fine.
Yeah, I asked if he had allergies. He said he didn't, but these ants, I think anyone would get red bumps if eaten by these ants. So we took a break and then we carried on again.
Can I have my headphones back?
Yes, you can have your headphones back so you could see how loud you're being.
Am I actually being that loud?
You're fine.
The whole point of this, we were initially started talking about laser tag. That's the birthday party today.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've never laser tagged other than that little kids thing, which is kind of silly. Like, this is probably more of an adult sort of thing. Hopefully. And are there transferable skills? I'd imagine so.
Yeah. I'm surprisingly good. Actually, maybe not, because my competitors were like 8.
Yeah. So you're really good against 8-year-olds.
I went 43-2
against 8-year-olds.
Against 8-year-olds. That's still something, though.
It's definitely something. I don't know if it's something to be proud of.
It's kind of cool at that place, though, because it gives you percentage of shots hit, because it knows how many times you fired and how many actually hit a target. It's kind of cool. And it shows you where on the body you hit.
Nerd.
And there's no girls at this party, so he can.
There's no girls at this.
He can just go and shoot all the fellows, and it'll be fine.
But you guys might also be on a team together. How many of you are there total?
I have no clue. I only know the people I know that are going.
Okay, so
'cause,
so it might be 5, it might be 15.
it might be, yeah,
So you guys might fight each other, or you might team up against other groups. You don't know what you're going to be shooting.
no clue.
But laser tag, there's no pain.
You wear a vest and things light
Yeah,
up.
there's no pain.
Yeah.
So I remember back at so the first time I went paintballing was that work thing. And I remember at the end, my coworker Vian and I decided we were very curious how much like it would hurt to get shot point blank.
Oh God.
So at the end of the whole thing, after we were done, we were like in the parking lot, and we both were curious, and we were both, so we basically either went topless or took our shirts off, and from like 10, 15 feet away, took direct shots at each other's like stomachs. Holy crap. It did not feel great. And the welts were there for weeks.
Why would you do that?
Because we were curious. Because you normally, for the listeners back home, or for the listeners who have never paintballed, typically you wear coveralls, which protect you from, like it's not much of a protection, but it hurts less if you get hit while wearing coveralls, but also to protect your clothes from all the paint and the dirt, because you wind up, if you're doing it right, crawling around and getting quite dirty if you're outdoors. But it's not much of a protection from, and it provides a little camouflage. If you show up wearing your fluorescent orange shirt, these things are normally some sort of dark, muted colors, so you can blend into rocks or cars or tires or forests or grass or mounds of ants pretty well. But anyway, the coveralls offer a little bit of pain relief. I wonder if the guys do it a lot, have padding underneath. I wonder if that's a cop-out. Like, I don't know what paintball culture is.
No. They
I
I remember that day when we went there. They're in shorts and shirts. There's a bunch of other people there.
I mean the guys who bring their own guns. Like
Yeah. They go in shorts and shirts.
Really?
I've seen people go in like no shirts at all.
Yeah, but he's talking about like
I'm talking about the ones who
professionals.
do it seriously.
Oh,
they would definitely have tactical
I'm not
gear,
talking
I'm
about
sure.
like the weekend warriors who
Yeah.
drink a 6-pack of Coors and then go in there to see what happens. I mean, like the guys who take it seriously, are they wearing padding?
I think they just wear
Like
long sleeves.
like a bunch of cowards.
I've seen videos of how they reload because they have those.
Sometimes they just
Yeah,
dump
they have
it
those
in.
tubes,
Yep.
and they use 2 fingers, and it just rapid fire.
They just dump the pellets in the balls.
I always had a pretty negative view of paintballing, and when I tried it, I thought it was pretty fun. I don't need to do it more than once every couple of years, but it was kind of fun. It's a bit of a visceral experience if you spend most of your time in stop. You're about to make noises into the mic.
Asthma.
Yeah,
But it's better than playing video games. It's Call of Duty in real life.
well, yeah. It's like a real physical thing. You're out there
You learn a lot from it.
and you're sweating like a sumbitch.
You learn how you handle things and manage things.
Can we
It's
get a
pretty cool.
replay
Yeah.
on whatever that was?
Yeah, I'll slow it down and play it back at half speed when I edit. I won't.
What?
Andy, the editor, will take care of it.
Why are you looking at the wall?
That's Andy.
He's behind the wall.
He's behind the wall.
It's a two-way. Yeah, two-way.
It's two-way. It's two-way drywall. Not a lot of people know. Like people heard of those like one-way or two-way mirrors. I don't even know what they're called. Where from one side you can see through, from the other side
Like
it
the
looks like a
jackal?
mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a one-way mirror?
That's a one-way.
Two-way mirror?
No, it's a one-way because only one person can see through it.
So it's a one-way window, other-way mirror.
Yeah.
So this is one-way drywall, other-way
Window.
see-through, other-way window. Yeah. It's a new technology that Elon Musk has been working on, top secret.
Wouldn't he be in our neighbor's house
You don't worry about that.
or floating in air?
So just like
There's a
the
little
jack,
studio that's been
yeah,
built.
just like the jackal, you haven't looked at the floor plan, have you? Yeah, he's in our neighbor's bedroom. In fact, Andy is our neighbor.
He is?
Yeah, he lives there.
With Jerry and Kelly?
Yeah. So I heard a rumor that they might be selling.
Get him out of here.
Okay. Well, hopefully they don't listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
They're listening right now.
If you, yeah, Andy's over there.
They're listening through the drywall.
They're on the other side of the drywall with their headphones on right now. Jerry
Little
and Kelly,
doctor's stethoscope.
if you're listening to this podcast, you've been great neighbors. If you are leaving, it'll be sad to see you go. If you're not, so be it. All right. So what else are you guys talking about down there? Let's hear a little from Rob. Rob's never been on this podcast before. Do you have any questions for Rob? Maybe find out what kind of fellow Rob is. Go. You're the...
All right,
What is
Rob,
this podcast called anyway?
Time.
Time?
Time.
Time.
I like it.
I personally feel like I lack the skills to conduct this interview. I'd like to pass it back to a dear friend of mine, actually, a fellow colleague.
Talking to the microphone.
Oh, my bad. A colleague, dear friend of mine.
All right, that's enough.
Okay.
That's enough. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Rob, since you've never been on the show before, and I've been meaning to get you on for a while. Who is Frisbee Rob, and how did you find yourself at this podcast table today?
I'm sorry. I had to. Rob, please continue.
The editors are going to have a lot of work ahead of them. How did I find myself at this table? I mean, yeah, it's been an adventure. I've known the Negelov clan for 20 years. Met through Frisbee and decided to just kind of keep hanging out over the years and took a little bit of a break. Got back together because of bikes. It helped me avoid getting some shady bikes, which was nice. That I probably would have bought for sure. And biking's become a thing now. And it's been cool living downtown. It's been cool trying different things. And I don't know. It's I'm a far away from home. Grew up in the Maritimes. Lived in New Brunswick, been in Calgary for 20 years now.
Ramone, based on his eye rolling, he's getting a little tired of your life story. Unbelievable. What a rude co-host.
What? What are these lies?
These lies. Rob is bearing his heart and soul, and you're rolling your eyes.
I didn't roll my eye. I did this.
Okay, back to the Maritimes. You were telling me this. So we were talking about where Ramone might be going to school next year, and we're hoping Western. Rob was telling me he grew up in a town that had one high school.
Yeah, we had one elementary school, one middle school, one intermediate school, one high school. Now there's 2 K-8s, and then one high school still.
What town is this?
Woodstock, New Brunswick.
Woodstock, New Brunswick. Heard of it?
You know I have not.
Okay.
It's 45 minutes west of Fredericton, New Brunswick.
You've heard of New Brunswick?
It's a maritime.
Mm-hmm. What are the other 3 Maritimes? Let's see.
Technically, there's only 3 maritime provinces.
Halifax is the capital of a maritime. I forget which one.
Okay.
Wait, no. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Is it... Wait.
Some call it New Scotland.
Is it Nova Scotia?
It might be.
Okay.
So that's one.
Saint... Is it John? Or James? It's a J.
It's you're thinking St. James Gang.
What?
It was a very popular band in the 60s.
That is not what I'm thinking.
The lead singer and guitarist joined the
that,
Eagles.
That is definitely not what
1975.
I guarantee
He's an old soul. Ramone is an old soul. He knows his bands.
No,
I do not.
You're thinking St. John's.
Yeah, I told you it started with a J. I said John. Somebody should have helped me there.
And what's that the capital of? That's another maritime.
Is it a lady's name?
No.
No? Never mind then.
You're thinking the capital of Prince Edward Island, which is
Charlottetown.
Charlottetown, PI. Wait, there's 4 maritimes.
So technically there's 3.
Don't give us technically.
But there's 4 Atlantic provinces.
What's that one in the middle of Quebec? Like,
what do you mean the one?
There's one attached to Quebec.
There's one what?
Maritime.
I don't know what you... Tell us more. Tell us more about the education system at the Calgary Arts Academy.
No.
I just don't know what you mean by that. So Prince Edward Island is an island. Mm-hmm. Newfoundland is attached to Labrador, but Labrador and Newfoundland are an island.
Yeah.
We got Nova Scotia, which is attached to the mainland. And we got New Brunswick, which is also attached to the mainland. So those two are not islands.
No, it's on the very east coast of Quebec.
Yeah, he already answered it.
He did? What's it called?
It was one of the last couple of things I said.
I already forgot all of them.
I think our audience is quickly switching channels. How did we get on this? Oh, because Rob grew up out in Woodstock,
New Brunswick. Went to school in Halifax.
Not to be confused with Gandalf's horse.
Shadowfax.
That's right.
Yeah. That's how I remembered Halifax.
Good. Why not?
Perfect.
Did your parents, like, you know how some parents, they have, like, a trailer or, like, an RV? Did you guys have, like, a boat? Why are you laughing?
Sorry, what's the question? I don't understand the question.
Did my parents have a boat?
'Cause he lives in the Maritimes, you know?
So in the Maritimes, you don't have RVs. You have the RV version, like houseboats.
Yeah.
That's a valid question. Answer the question.
There's not many houseboats in the Maritimes, to be honest.
Houseboats are not for the oceans.
Yep.
They're for lakes.
Yep.
Why are you playing footsie under the table, Dad?
Any more questions for Rob about the Maritimes?
That actually might be something to invest in, actually, right there. We get a houseboat company, set it up in the Maritimes.
So there's a reason why houseboats don't go on oceans. And that reason is not because someone didn't have the idea. What do you think that reason might be?
I don't like your pessimism, actually.
Yeah, I don't want to shatter your dreams of setting up a houseboating company on the ocean.
You're shaping my young mind into believing
that's his goal.
Yeah.
Yes, that's his goal.
Yeah, that's not.
Okay, let's get back to Rob's.
Nice.
Let's get back to Rob's
No,
childhood.
that's not very nice. And I think what you're doing here is very.
This is what I have to put up with. I apologize. I should not have poo-pooed. I shouldn't have yucked on your yum. I apologize.
I think you should come up with a business plan.
No, and the fact that
write me up a business plan.
The fact that you're not taking me seriously right now.
I'm 100%
that you are
taking
not is really demeaning, and it really puts me down, actually. And
no, you're right.
You're not even paying attention. You're grabbing stuff on the table. What are we doing? All right.
This is what he's learning at the Arts Academy.
Let's get back to our guest.
No, now you want to change the subject. What are we doing? It's not.
Okay, that's enough of this. Let's get back to our guest.
Do you have to be somewhere at 12:30?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Can I move this?
Yeah, of course. Just move it to wherever works. Yeah, because we've never had three people here, so you kind of have to turn your head in a different direction. But we can make it happen.
Yeah, I think it sounds okay.
Yeah. Don't worry, Andy's monitoring the sound. It's all good. So, more questions for Rob. Grew up in Woodstock.
There's more people in Calgary than all of Nova Scotia. This is a very small place, but you guys have been to small towns. You spent time there.
A little bit.
It's not super surprising for you, but
yeah, we haven't spent a ton of time in small towns. We did do a kind of a fun road trip. I don't know if you remember. We went to Vulcan. You remember?
Yeah, that place was shit.
Ramone.
It was poopy, actually. Very poopy.
Why?
Because their cafe was horrendous.
The cafe was very questionable.
They had an egg salad that
So you do remember?
Yeah, that I had the misfortune of thinking it might be good, and I'm pretty sure I had runny shits all the whole way home.
Yeah, the one cafe that was open that we found was
horrendous.
Very questionable.
It was horrendous.
But there was Star Trek. Remember, you drive into town. There's a Star Trek.
Yeah,
ships
but there were some cool things there. Like, well, cool as in, what the heck is that cool? I think the highlight of that trip was that field we found in the beautiful light, and we took some photos on hay bales.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. We also brought our bikes, and we rode around. Like, we brought our bikes in our car, and when we got there, we rode our bikes around town. We saw the grain elevators. That was pretty cool. We found a field to throw on. Why did we go? Do you remember?
Yeah,
and then we'll get back to
some sort
our
of
guest.
school project. I can't remember what though.
I think everyone in your class was given a small town in Alberta, and you had to do some research. And I figured, why don't we just go?
Perfect. Yeah.
So we just did a road, because you got Vulcan, And the actual Star Trek museum I thought was kind of fun. The lady there was awesome. Do you remember? You loved it when you were there, so don't even pretend.
Don't even.
You loved
Don't
it.
even. I hated all of it.
You did not hate it. I have video evidence.
Did he put on some Spock, like some ears and
No, it was
some
just
photos?
it was just a building dedicated to Star Trek memorabilia, and
so
the
bad.
Enterprise was on the roof,
so
and you could
bad.
see it from the highway. It wasn't bad. You're pretending it was bad, but we had a good time. The cafeteria was definitely the low point, but we had a good time in town.
It was so sketchy.
There's nothing sketchy.
Well, not sketchy.
we
just
hardly saw any human beings there.
yeah.
All right.
So small towns. So I get to see a lot of small towns. There was a town in Nova Scotia called Shag Harbor, and they have a UFO museum. So in the 1960s, two friends were walking home from the pub, and they saw lights in the sky, and they reported it. And they had NATO, they had the FBI, they had CIA, they had everybody investigating. So they have a
Sir,
museum
did
there.
you say NATO?
They've had multiple people investigate over the years this UFO sighting that was two lights in the sky.
Why would NATO be investigating UFOs?
Why hasn't Andy gotten back on
Or
the
sorry,
ASMR?
not NATO.
NASA.
NORAD.
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 Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Sorry, NORAD.
Okay.
And so there's a museum there, and it has folding tables with printed sheets of paper and random alien toys, and you pay $2 to go to this museum.
Pricey.
Yeah, so there's these random little towns that just have something happened. Two guys were drunk. They saw lights. They thought there was a UFO. But you'll see that all over Canada. And it's the charm of Canada, but it's also makes me appreciate living in a city that doesn't care about tiny little things like that. That's really strange and weird and doesn't make their, tourist money off of that. That actually has cool pathways and opportunities. And so I like small towns. I like visiting them, but once you live in a city, I think it's tough to go back to a small town because people just the things that they appreciate are very odd.
You spend a lot of time on the road.
I do.
Going from town to town or city to city. What exactly do you go? You go from school to school mostly, and you give talks.
Yeah, I'm a glorified phys ed teacher, and I don't deal with parents. I don't do report cards. And driven across Canada 7 times. So I've seen a lot of places. I've learned different routes of how to get from A to B, how to go through the US, how to go through Northern Ontario. Logistically, it's been quite an adventure. Yeah, I've been to schools that are K to 12. There's 60 kids. I've been to schools where there's 1.5 teachers basically. So you have one full-time teacher, one teacher that's half-time. The principal teaches full-time. I've been to schools where there's one kid in the graduating class. And the grad ceremony is whatever they get to pick. So they basically say, I want to do this, we're going to do that. That's the grad ceremony.
And what do you do at these schools? Why do you go?
Yeah, so mostly it's teaching Frisbee, but sharing lessons. I think too often people will teach a sport, but you and I have talked about this many times, that it's not about creating better athletes, it's creating better people. And I think that's the important thing, is to try and share messages that parents are constantly harping on their kids for, and teachers are constantly harping on the kids for, and I try to do it in a fun way, but the same message. I think if you say the same thing multiple ways, multiple times, then it lands, but just try to make it fun. Yeah, as you saw with Ramone and I earlier, he was very over talking about something, and so it's like, okay, we just won't talk about that.
What?
There might be good things that I could talk to you about with screen time or with apps, but if you've heard it enough, you're kind of like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Because a lot of times I think kids feel like they're being told what not to do. And, I think if we can get people thinking what they can do, then that's powerful. But it's also important to understand maybe not why they're doing things. I don't think it's necessary that parents have to tell kids why they should do something, but just say, trust me, I'm the parent, do this. That's it. I think too often I've talked to some parents and they try to explain everything to the kids, and then the kids find ways to explain the other way and oppose them. And sometimes it's like, do this because I'm your parent. That's the end of the conversation. And I think kids will thank parents later. Not now, for sure.
You've seen this from your experience?
Yeah.
With kids actually thanking their parents later.
Yeah, and thanking me. And I've had teachers say, 10 years later, 15 years later, the kids thank them for being a certain way or doing a certain thing. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on this, being the only teenager at this table?
Nope.
Okay. Wise words.
I need a...
Have you officially legally changed your name to Frisbee Rob?
I should. Or Mr. Frisbee.
Mr. Frisbee?
Mr. Frisbee.
But you have a lot of monogram stuff that says Frisbee Rob. You'd have to get new monogram stuff. You sure you want to rebrand at this point? I think Frisbee Rob has caught on. That's been something you've been... Is that something you started calling yourself, or people started calling you that because you have a bit of a penchant for all things Frisbee?
Yeah, I used to be Ultimate Rob.
Who called you that?
Me.
You just called I am Ultimate Rob.
No, I created a website back in 2009. And the internet was such a place that I could literally have every single video of Ultimate on my website. Every single photo, everything could be on my website. And I thought I'd be the central directory. And then, yeah, as YouTube started picking up and as people started posting content, I realized that's impossible. That's not going to happen. And so I just basically focused on teaching people how to play Ultimate better, mostly throwing. And then that led to me discovering Frisbee. And then someone said, you should call yourself Flying Disc Rob or All Frisbee Rob or something. And so I started calling myself Frisbee Rob, and then it stuck, and that became the company. And that's been the company for about 12 years now.
Just a little background. So you and I met in 03, 04. When did you move to Calgary?
I moved in 05, but we met
05?
Christmas of 04.
Okay.
When I came out here.
Yeah, because
I
I was
Frisbee at the red gym.
Because I thought we had more overlap, but I basically stopped playing Frisbee like 06, like maybe even by the end of 05. I don't even know if I played in 06. I don't remember.
So I played the summer of 05 and I think the summer of 06, and then I think you were done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting old is a bitch. Am I right?
Don't let Andy hear you say that.
Andy's fine.
My bad.
But it's true. Someone said it the other day that if you're 60 years old with $20 million in the bank, you're going to give up all of that to be back where you are today with the health you have now. And so I think sometimes we think we have a ton of time until we're not, we're not going to be there. And I actually was at a school last week talking to a teacher who travels all the time. And she said that her father was saving for retirement, and he passed away at 46, I think, with millions of dollars in the bank, and they had gone nowhere. And so she's like, we travel all the time. She's not going to leave any money to her grandkids. Not going to leave money. She's like, this is my money. I'm going to live my life.
Screw those ingrates. I've heard a saying, you can't take it with you.
Yep.
True? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is the more that I talk to people, the more I see that as people are just living life and enjoying life now because they don't know if they'll make it to 55 or 65.
I've heard another phrase. He who dies with the most toys wins. True?
That sounds less true, but maybe. But I think, it's giving things away is important and powerful. But I think sometimes too, we've enabled several generations to do nothing because we've allowed them to do nothing. And I think it's important that we make them and encourage them to do something.
Yeah. We're getting real philosophical.
That's a whole other podcast.
We're getting real philosophical.
Yeah.
We got another podcast on that topic. We got another podcast on Josh. But I'm going to have to track Sean down for that. Oh, it'd be so cool to get Rachel in too. Now I want to make it a mission to see if I could track Rachel down. I wonder if she's still at Travel Alberta. I'll be able to find out. Because Sean isn't. Sean left Travel Alberta way before I did. Or we're going to get to the bottom of this. What would really be cool is to get Josh on. That guy's a piece of work. He'd be amazing. I would just ask him questions and let him go. Yeah.
Would you have to change names, or are you using all their names?
Oh, no. These are all fake names.
They are?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So what do you guys think? This is our first experiment. We've done about 45 minutes. First experiment with 3 people. To our many, many listeners out there, I hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll try it again till next time. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Ramone's asleep.
What? Oh, my bad.
I think we've taxed the maximum limits of your attention span. Good night.
It's the middle of the day.
Shri Singa, Janri Singa, Jaya Janri Singa, Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukta Padma Bringam. Shri Singa, Janri Singa, Jaya Janri Singa, Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukta Padma Bringam.